Welcome to another edition of King Size Conversations. I'm your host, Brian Pfannes, president here at Steel King Industries. Today we're going to be interviewing some of our interns, our intern class, summer class of 2026. This morning, I'd like to sit down and have a conversation with them. And so, welcome.
Hi, I'm Rachel Perry. I am a senior at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point. I'm majoring in business administration and minoring in dietetics. I'm interning in the HRIS department.
Hi, my name is Katie Bronk. I'm going to be a junior at Winona State University. I'm majoring in creative digital media and minoring in public relations, and I'm the marketing intern.
Hi, I'm Spencer Gross. I'm a recent graduate of UW-Stevens Point. I majored in health science and wellness. I'm interning in the safety department.
Hi, I'm Nate Reimer. I will be a sophomore at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, and I'm majoring in civil engineering. I'm interning in the structural engineering department.
Hi, I'm Dalton Canoyer. I'm a senior at Midstate Technical College. I'm majoring in IT software development, and I'm minoring in IT user support technician. I'm interning in the IT department.
So what made you choose Steel King as a place that maybe to do an internship?
First heard about Steel King when Brian, actually the president, came and visited one of my classes. So I had not heard much about it before, but I was talked to by one of my professors who I respect a lot, and he said that it's something that I should consider because they do a lot within the community here, and he had a lot of respect for Brian. So I reached out to a friend of mine who I knew had done an internship here before, and she is now actually your talent acquisition specialist.
Yeah.
So she then,
Marina?
Yep, Marina.
Okay.
And so it was a little funny because she said, well, I'd love to tell you about my internship, but you probably should know my job is to get you to work here. So she shared about her internship opportunities and her experience with both internships she did. And yeah, just coming and visiting the business here, it's not something I necessarily expected to land in, but I felt that there was a really obvious culture being built here.
So I've heard about it through some family and some friends, and I just know it's a strong company that is celebrating their employees, and the marketing internship drew my interest because I knew it would be a great opportunity to use what I've been learning in school in a real world, work environment.
Yeah, I was looking for things in Stevens Point, and I had heard about Steel King before. But when I looked at the listing, it looked like everything that I was looking for, and really just the opportunity to be hands-on and impacting health and safety as much as possible.
So I actually knew Sam Krieger in the design department before.
Sure.
He's my brother's baseball coach, and he heard I was going to Platteville for civil, so he's like, hey, you should come try it out. So I applied, and I got it.
I was looking for internships, and I attended a UWSP event where you can talk to a bunch of companies at the booth. You get to talk with them, see what kind of things they do, what jobs they can offer, how much of a fit you'd be. I got to talk with Marina at the booth, and I got to learn a lot about how Steel King was.
What's been the most intimidating part about hopping into an internship?
I don't like not knowing what I'm doing. And so that was the most intimidating part I felt like for the first week and a half, 2 weeks, my superiors couldn't just ask me to complete something. It was more so I was like, sure, if you teach me how to do it. Mm-hmm. And that was hard for me because I like to come in prepared for things. I like to go to class prepared. I'm a track athlete. I like to prepare for my season. And this was something I didn't know what I was walking into.
Sure.
And so I couldn't really prepare myself to know what they were going to have me doing. So I think that was the most intimidating factor, just not feeling useful at first. And so
I would say the most intimidating part was probably just the first week because I've never worked in a work environment like this, so I really didn't know what to expect.
Sure.
But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun just learning and contributing to the team.
I think probably just being on the manufacturing floor and interacting with people, that's a completely new environment for me. I think it's really interesting, but it's very new yet, so a little intimidating to be around all the big machines and all that.
Probably how much there is to learn. Like I said, I just finished my first year at Platteville, so I have very limited engineering knowledge to offer. And my mentor, Amir, he's so smart. He said he came from Turkey when he was 18 years old.
Yep.
But here to hear by himself. He's a graduate of UW Milwaukee. He's so smart. He has so much to offer. And we use like so many different programs, so many different Excel sheets. It's a little bit overwhelming, but I'm very excited to learn how to do everything.
The most intimidating part has to be trying to keep up with what the IT team is doing at all times. I want to make sure that like I'm on top of things, that I'm not forgetting to do things that they set me out to do. And it's all about meeting expectations so far.
First 2 weeks, if you had to put a movie title to it or sitcom title to it, what would it be and why?
The Office, I guess. There's not a lot of movies that are going over being a HR intern, so
Yeah, so the first thing that had come to my head was La La Land, which I just think is because it's a happy title, and I've just been really happy, and like I've really been enjoying just learning and getting to know everyone, and it's just been a very fun time.
I would probably compare it to The Lord of the Rings. I feel a lot like
Oh, boy.
Frodo Baggins because of how I just got thrown into this adventure and I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. But I'm surrounded by all these people who are very willing to help and are very professionally trained.
Yes Man featuring Jim Carrey, because every time I'm asked to do something, I just can't help but say yes.
Okay.
And it's all a lot of things I like to enjoy. I like to try new things, and I'm learning a lot about different things that you can do here at Steel King as part of the IT team. Way different environment than what I'm used to, and it's been a journey.
What's been the biggest surprise so far during your first couple weeks here?
I feel like I didn't necessarily come in with a specific idea of what I was going to be doing. So I can't say I was extremely shocked about any of the assignments I've been given. The thing I was shocked about the most was actually learning the scale of the products that we supply.
Sure.
Because I didn't know much about the manufacturing side of things. And then to be in a meeting with the safety people and with the quality people and learn that the things we do are not just shelving in, a retail store or in your garage, but stuff that actually is the structural integrity of an entire warehouse. I thought that was really shocking and really interesting to find out.
I'd say one of the biggest surprises, I have a couple. Everyone's very encouraging and like empowering, and I just feel very comfortable sharing all my ideas. And just the marketing team has been very awesome, and I feel very like supported with all my ideas. And I would say another one is I didn't know there was so much behind marketing. So I always knew like coming into it, we would look at how can we market steel and how can we make it interesting. But there's so much more. There's the design work, there's the social media posts, there's the email campaigns and the designing of the websites, and we're working on the podcast. So it's just very interesting to see all the different things that's going behind this.
A lot of different surprises, but the biggest one for me was probably just the scale of the operation. I wasn't really sure what to expect. Going between Stevens Point, the facility there, and then out in New London too. There's just so many employees. So it's really cool to see just how big it is.
I would say probably how much engineering actually goes into designing racks, because when I first started, I was assuming like all the racks are probably the same. Everybody wants the same thing. But in reality, we have so many different types of products we offer, and everybody lives in a different seismic area. So you have to design each rack individually. It's amazing on how much actually goes into designing each rack.
The biggest surprise is how many documents you have to fill out before you can even start a job.
Before you can even work?
Yeah, I haven't had an official job before, so this was quite a surprise to me, filling out all the documentation, all the papers.
If you had to explain the internship to a friend, one sentence or an elevator pitch, what would you say we actually do?
Yeah, so far, if I was talking to somebody who didn't know about the company or about what I do specifically, I'd say my job is learning how to support our HR team and support the people of the company with a heavy focus on the information system side of it. So think of Workday or 7 Shifts or your app like that on your phone where you get to see your hours or your
Yep.
benefits situation. My job is behind the scenes of that, making sure that for the employees on the front, it all runs smoothly.
I would say that the marketing team is very communicative and collaborates with each other and brainstorms ideas. We work on the podcast, some social work, filming and brainstorming ideas for that, and design work for brochures or for the website or just for anything like social posts.
I think most of what I do is just look for opportunities for improvement and safety, whether it's on the production floor or in the office or whatever. And then also dealing with some of the compliance stuff, OSHA regulations and all that. So there's a good amount of office work and then actually being present and interacting with people in the production facilities.
I would probably tell them at this moment, it's a very great learning opportunity and experience where I just look at a bunch of numbers and programs and stare at them until they make sense. But I'm sure as the weeks go on, I'll definitely learn a whole lot about statics and physics and all the kind of stuff that I'm interested in.
As part of the IT team, you get to have fun doing the maintenance on all of the different apps that get used as part of the corporate offices on the shop floor. Very big ecosystem, so you get to work with a lot of different coding languages, a lot of different IDEs, a lot of tools used by the company to make sure that everyone has access to the system itself. It's a lot of fun, and you get to learn a lot.
If you had to ask me a question, what would it be?
If you had to give one piece of advice for the development of my career, knowing that I'm a little bit unsure of what part of the company I'm going to be in and where I want to end up long term, what would you say is the best thing to focus on for my growth?
I would say always be curious. And be willing to maybe take as you've got a year left, what classes you'll be able to take or become somewhat limited. But maybe you'll search out one if you've got an elective that you can take. Search out one that you may have thought about, but we're like, nah, I don't know. I don't know if that's going to fit.
Sure.
And challenge yourself to get into maybe a little bit different side of business than what you've been exposed to. You are right now doing this, being engaged in the HR side, but opportunities to learn more about a business. And at the end of the day, I think some of the best careers, some of the people who are most happy in life and profession or professional work are those that are able to define and what they want to do early. And it's not forever, but identifying where their passion really is. And if you can plug in into passion, what you're passionate about in a work, whether it be what you do, where you work, it doesn't become work anymore, at least in my mind.
Yeah.
So if that's a tip of advice I could give, but don't be afraid to take a different class or even online after you're done with school. Learning never stops.
What is the best piece of advice that you've received in your career?
I think the best piece of advice I've received, it'd be tough to narrow it down to one, but put on the spot, immediately I would say sticking with what, when things get hard, sticking with it and knowing that you have the confidence to get something done. When I came to Steel King in 2012, I thought I was way over my skis. I worked for a much, much smaller company. I thought for sure I had bitten off way more than I could handle. And I had always, I guess, advice too would be to find a mentor, especially early in your career. But I reached out to one of my mentors. It was actually the owner of the previous company I'd worked for, and he made the comment to me, he's like, Brian, it's just zeros. Everything that you do, that you've done building your experience and your professional journey, it doesn't matter. As long as you're willing to learn and apply what you've learned, whether a company is big or small, everything is relevant in some way, shape, or form. So that degree of persistence and confidence, and finding a mentor to help you guide, because professional career and journey is tough. It's not a linear track. There's stops and starts and setbacks at all portions of your career, but having someone that can help provide advice or just listen. Simple as just listening. So
What is your favorite part about working at Steel King?
I would say my favorite part about working at Steel King really boils down to getting to know and engage with all of our employees. Every person has a story, where they come from. We are a big company. But I think initially, early on, it was like trying to understand and like expect people to just engage the company. But as I've grown and learned, it's really about meeting our people where they are, and that requires all of us as leaders to get to know our people. And what's their stories? So I'm looking forward to learning your story and the stories of the rest of our internship class this year. What do you want to do over your professional career? Because truthfully, as a corporation, I think it's our responsibility to help arm each of you to be successful in your professional career over the next 30 to 40 years.
You were talking about this morning, you used to live to work, but now you work to live. What does that actually mean?
So the concept of live to work, work to live to work, in my early 20s, it was all about work, everything. And when you do that, things take back seats. I put career first at the expense of a lot of things. Family, missed a lot of things like on the personal side. And those are choices that I made, right? And my choices that my family supported, but it comes with a cost. Provides for it, made the choice and has provided well for our family. But today, what drives me isn't the work aspect. What drives me today is I work and do what I do to be able to have a life outside of work with my family, community. And I would say I work to live when it comes with all of our employees, to be able to get to know them. And it's not just about early on, 20s, 30s. It was a lot of development and what I wanted to do professionally. But that's changed as I've aged and matured and look at life differently. I was talking to someone after Brewing Success this morning, and actually the marketing team. And my sister, she's an internal med doc, and a conversation I had with her, family related, but she said every day is precious and there's no guarantee for tomorrow. She deals with that stuff all the time, heavy all the time. I think early on in your career, you think you're invincible. Nothing can happen to you. So I live to work. I worked myself to death, practically, at times. Different perspective today. So that's what that means to me.
Okay.
In a very deep nutshell. So
Before you became president, is there anything that you wished you could do or wanted to do more?
I think it is. So before I was very fortunate to be given this opportunity, I had the opportunity to start my career off in sales, and then I went over to the dark side in purchasing and supply chain. think that one of the things I wish, and I still have the opportunity to do, is retake a weld test out on the shop floor. So our leadership team, it's kind of the rolling joke, and for those of you out there that are listening, you've probably heard me use this reference before, but we did weld testing as a leadership team. Just trying to understand how hard things are out on the floor and how difficult it is to make the products that we make and bring them to market. I failed my weld test. So I think spending time more on the floor. I'm a hands-on learner. I like hard work, as crazy as that sounds. But the opportunity, if there was ever to be like a hidden boss, everyone would know who I am anyway, so I couldn't actually go out onto the shop floor and put on a wig and whatever, I'd be called out. But I would love to engage more on the shop floor, that hands-on experience that truly makes the products that we bring to market great. So, great question. You totally put me on my heels on that one, so outstanding question.